Hey guys, I'll be with you in just a second. Sorry it took me so long. I had a little bit of difficulties trying to get logged in. Okay guys, how's everybody doing tonight? I bought a new microphone to try out tonight, but for some reason it was interfering with me going live, so I had to take it out. I hope you guys can hear me all right. I know my voice is still a little bit weak from being sick. Hey Joe, how's it going, buddy? Hey Kat. You guys doing alright tonight? Well, at least as good as you was 10 minutes ago. Let's see, Cat, Jew, that's it that I can see. I wasn't trying to run Daniel off of live. I was going to wait till he was done. Yeah, I'm doing alright, I guess. Okay, yeah, that looks better. Yeah, he went live for a couple hours anyway. Yeah, that happens sometimes, Cat. Wow, we went up to 8 and back down to 4 that quick. Hey Paul, how's it going? Hey Josh, how are you, bud? I'm doing alright, Paul. I'm still a little bit under the weather, have been for over a week now, but I just can't quite seem to shake it for some reason. Hey Ray, how's it going, buddy? So did anybody get anything built this weekend? I'll do this again. There, we'll try that, see if it helps. What did you build, Josh? Hey, Flossie, how's it going? Hey, we're doing pretty good. You could send me a picture of that, Josh? I don't need 4 controllers, just one right now, maybe 2, but that's something I've definitely been thinking about making just for me. Flossie, was it you that I was talking to about the table saw blade a while ago? Which blade is, which side of your blade is the nut on? Uh, hey Josh, without me going over here and looking at my table saw and taking the throat plate off of it and stuff, do you know which thread a table saw blade nut change has on it? Blade change nut? Yeah, definitely let it soak in WD-40 overnight. That'll help some, but we just got to make sure you're turning it the right way. Because if you're not, you're just going to be tightening it up worse. Changing the blade, is it a right-handed thread or left-handed thread? My camera ain't sitting in the right spot, dang it. There we go. That looks better. That's what I was trying to figure out, Paul. Without changing my saw blade, I can't really think of which way it is, but they're right-handed or left-handed threads. So that's what I was trying to figure out, which way she needed to be turning it. Ooh, we got 13 people. Oh yeah, now we're cooking. How's everybody doing out there? Come in, chat, and say hi. Make sure you hit that like button. Olay! Where the hell is my wrench? Well, I got some shit. that it? No, that can't be it. It was bigger than 7/8, I thought. Yeah, it's bigger than 7/8. Oh shit, I bet my wrench is in the car. Damn it. I don't know if I can get that one even down in there. Where the hell? Hey, Kizzy. Hey, Flossie, are you in my Facebook group? Kat, would you please post the Facebook group link for me? I would greatly appreciate it. I should have put that in the description, I guess. Didn't even think about it. I turned my camera a little bit. Oh, I turned my shop light above my head off. That might be what it is, Kizzy. Thank you, Kat. I greatly appreciate that. I don't know, it could be that the cats tore that piece of plastic down behind me too. Let there be light. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Okay, after the live's over, Flossie, I'll go get my wrench set out of the car and I'll take my blade off and I'll tell you exactly which way it turns. But I'm thinking to take it off. You're probably going to want to push it away from me instead of pulling it towards you. I can't remember exactly if they're right-handed or left-handed threads, so. Well, Kizzy, I am an angel. Yeah, Josh, that was what I told her, but I was just trying to figure out which way she needs to be turning. She's got a table saw. We're trying to figure out which way the nut turns to take the blade off of it. I don't have my wrenches in here. They're in the car. I forgot that I used them to work on the car. Well, counterclockwise as you're taking it off the same way as the blade spins, and that seems like that would loosen it as the blade turns. Okay, Ray, you have a good night, buddy. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi. We appreciate it. Yeah, she said the nut was on the right, so. Yeah, that's fine, Flossie. You know, I've took the blade off of my table saw, I guess, 40 times now, and I couldn't tell you if it was right-handed or left-handed. Okay, Flossie, tomorrow when you go to try to take that nut off, get you a pipe and put it on the end of your wrench. That should give you extra leverage. Make sure you put something in the blade or some C-clamps on the blade to hold it steady so it won't just keep spinning. And if that don't work, take your hammer and try smacking the pipe and see if that don't give you enough to break it loose. Other than that, that's the only ways I really know to get a rusted nut off without cutting it. Damn, I'm on my phone. Damn, I can't. I guess I should be getting her to join the group. I can't look at the group chat. I got my fiance's phone for the chat. I don't want to mess with mine now that I got the live up. Had some trouble getting the live going. Hey, Cody. Yeah, $40 ain't bad. As long as the motor runs, you can make it work. I mean, eventually, even if you was to have to cut the nut off and you accidentally hit the arbor and had to change the arbor, that's still worth it, in my opinion. That's cheaper than I got my Skill for. I paid $50 for my Skill brand table saw. Another thing you could try if you absolutely had to would be a hammer and a punch on the nut. Hey, not much, Cody. Just sitting around trying to hang out with everybody. Oh boy, we got 25 people in here. Hey guys, come on in, say hi. Make sure you give us a like and subscribe. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, that's the hardest part of it, Cody, is trying to figure out what to do next. Yeah, Kizzy, it depends on which way the blade tilts, right tilting or left tilting, from what I was reading a while ago. I don't really need any mods yet. I've got 3 or 4, including me, and I don't think we've had to kick anybody out yet. Uh-oh, Kizzy, don't fall into that trap. We got 21 people in here, though. That's pretty good. Hey, Bobby, how's it going? Yeah, we're just hanging out. We're just hanging out, Bobby. Just seeing how everybody's doing. Trying to help Flossie get a nut off of a table saw. She figured since we're all crazy, this was the best place to ask about nuts. That's what she said. Damn it, Josh. That happened before my brain could function. Now my miter saw, it actually says which way to turn to tighten and loosen, but I don't think my table saw does. My miter saw is left-handed, so damn it, now I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna have to go out to the car and get my wrenches in the cold. You building anything good, Bobby? I was supposed to have done a video today, but work tried to kill me Friday night, so I'm still kind of recovering from that, plus being sick, so I'm going to wait and do it tomorrow. need to buy me a feather board or two. What I really need is a miter gauge for my table saw. That's what I really need. But I can't find one for my table saw because they don't make this model anymore. They've upgraded it. And from what I was reading about my model table saw, the T-tracks are not the standard size. They're a little bit different, which I couldn't quite understand, but it is what it is. Well, I'm all over the place tonight, ain't I? Oh, hey, was it an actual stain or was it kind of like what I done in my last couple of videos with homemade type of stains? And that's exactly right, Josh. With those plastic Harbor Freight calipers, they're somewhere between a 1/2 inch and 9/16. Oh no, did you about burn your shop down? Yeah, Kizzy, I mean, for woodworking, they're just fine. And I done a short on calipers to show, even if the numbers weren't on there, you can still read it by making your measurement and then laying it on your ruler or tape measure or something, and that'll give you your measurement. But if you're trying to figure out exactly something like the T-slot size, it's a little bit different. But because I ordered some T-tracks I did order it off of Temu, but it didn't fit, and that got me investigating it, and they said that it has a slightly off-sized T-track for some reason or another that I don't quite understand. Yeah, post it, Olay. Let us see it. Hell, you can even do a voiceover and explain what went wrong. Man, my camera has lost its shit tonight. The Skill 3400, I believe it is. Sorry if I have my butt stuck up in the camera. Need some light. Yes, Skill model 3400. They do not make this model anymore, so ordering parts for it's impossible because I was going to order a ribbing knife for it and couldn't. Sugar Burger Bonbon. You know, I ain't never tried to do that stain over. I had never even thought about trying that. Yeah, I'm kind of wanting to see it too now. I might have to sit here and recreate it here in a minute. Hey, Kat, are you going to be busy tomorrow? A Sugar Booger Bonbon fire. There we go. I don't know if I want to call it Sugar Booger Bonbon or Yucky Sucky now because of what the other word for that is. Go ahead and finish it, Ole. I mean, in my beginner series, when I screw something up, I show what I screwed up and explain what caused me to screw it up. Because things like that are important for beginners to see and understand and learn from. It's been, what, a week now since I did these natural wood stains on that last video. I've got to say they've held color really well and they've not molded or anything, so I'm impressed. I will definitely be trying some more of that. Yeah, Bobby, I understand that. It was one of my first couple of videos. I was using my circular saw and I had my square up using it as a fence. It was the first time I had adjusted my circular saw to have more blades sticking out, or adjusted it for a miter one, and my saw got hung up and I couldn't figure out why my saw got hung up. And then I said it was something, and then when I went back and watched that part of the video, I seen what it was, so when I recorded the next part, I showed everybody. It was getting stuck on the square, So the motor was getting stuck on the square, so I showed him what was causing it and how to avoid it. How does a cow make you film a little easier? Is it the milk or what? Ah, computer on wheels. I got you. That makes a little bit more sense. That bag of marbles right there is going to be part of one of my builds this week sometime. I bought me a pocket hole jig, I don't know, back in May, maybe June, and I still ain't used it. It's still sitting over here in the box. I haven't. I opened it up to see what was in it, and that was it. Originally, I went to trade school for machine shop. And then later on in life, after I realized that getting a job in a machine shop was damn near impossible because people do it till they die, I decided I would go to college and get a computer science degree. And after I'd been there a year, the town that I was living in had a lot of job postings for people that were computer electronics certified from the trade school. So I quit college and went to a trade school and took computer electronics. So, of course, that never really led anywhere either, but the certification from the trade school is supposed to be the equivalent of the CompTIA A+ certification. But yeah, I've not really built anything that needs pocket holes since I bought that pocket hole jig. I felt that deep in my soul, Josh. I do pretty good about keeping my mouth in check when I'm making a video or when I'm doing a live, but every once in a while I'll let something slip out. But hey, Carving Wizard, how you doing, buddy? Glad you made it. Feel free to chat, ask questions, anything you want or need to do or know. one of us will be able to help you, I'm sure. Damn, I didn't bring me another drink down. Yeah, Wizard, I figured I'd go live after Daniel got done. I don't know why. Safety first. That's the first thing you should learn. Wear safety glasses. Bare minimum, wear safety glasses. If you're sanding a lot of cedar or something like that, wear a dust mask. Then it's learning how to cut straight. Like, if you're using a circular saw or a jigsaw, where the hell's that? Take your square and set it on whatever you're cutting. And take your saw and set it against it, at the edge of your saw against your square, and use it as a fence. That'll help you cut straight. But measuring, marking, cutting straight, those are very important. Safety is very important. Always know where your hands are at all times. Start out with the circular saw and the jigsaw. Bobby, I'll be honest with you, I'm terrible with one too. I'm worse with the jigsaw. I mean, I can cut straight with a jigsaw, but I'm not real good at shapes yet. Flossie, I do good to remember people's names. I mean, if it's somebody that I've talked to, like on Messenger or something other than just being in a chat, I'm not able to remember their name either. Like, I know Josh's name because me and him talked a few times. I know HWC is Cody, and 77 Rockets is Ryan, but he's not in here tonight. I can't remember anybody else's name. New Beginnings, I think, is Chase. And that's it for names. So whatever your name is on here, I just assume that that's what your name is. Like take T. Paul Walker, for example. I figure he put the T in front of his name because he didn't want people to keep confusing him with that Paul Walker. Hey, New Beginnings, we just talking about you. Your name's Chase, right? Yeah, Kizzy, sure that was autocorrect. Uh-huh. I've not really picked on Paul about his name much yet. Glenn Campbell Jr., though, I did ask him if he was the junior of that Glenn Campbell, and apparently he's not, so. I'm not sure I'm buying that, Kizzy. Don't go, Bobby. Stay and hang out with us. Okay, you have a good night. I will be live again sometime tomorrow. I don't know what time. I may try to do it daytime-ish. I ain't gonna do it too early, but I'm gonna try to do it before everybody else is going live, so I'm not stepping on their toes. I kind of felt like I stepped on Daniel's toes a little bit tonight. I would go get me a drink if it didn't require me going outside to walk up the basement steps to get it. Yeah, I'm off work tomorrow. Thankfully. Yeah, I kind of figured he was, Cat, but I still, usually right after he does his show and tell, that's when he's about ready to go. But, you know, I still kind of felt like I might have been stepping on his toes a little bit. But that may just be me. I tend to feel like that from time to time about things, so. That's what tomorrow's video is going to be. Would you believe there's still a little bit of steel wool in that? It ain't completely dissolved yet. I mean, it's dissolved enough to work. I did try a little bit of it a couple of days ago on a piece of wood just to see what it would do. That's what I'm doing right now, as a matter of fact, stirring it up. There was that much steel wool out of like 4 pads, I think, 3 pads. I guess I need to leave my stir stick in there. Hey, there's one. Hey, there's Jack in the shop. How's it going? Damn it, Josh. That was pretty good. I like that one. That was a good one. Martha Stewart Smith Lab. I mean, you know, I went to all the trouble of cooking the stains up. I might as well hang on to them and see if I can use them at some point in time, right? And I won't lie, some of them went pretty good. Let there be a little bit of light. That's what they look like now. Red cabbage, dark roast coffee, beets, grape juice. Oh, where'd grape juice go? Come back. Yellow onion skins and blueberries. The beets did fade out some to just about the purple color of the blueberries, but I really liked the color the blueberries give. That was really nice. Yeah, Flossie. The last two videos I done, one was just a medium roast coffee, and the other one was red cabbage, dark roast coffee, beets, grape juice, onion skins, and blueberries. And all you gotta do is whatever you're using for the stain, boil it down and use the water out of it. Strain it and use the water. You see, I think the blueberries would have looked better, but you know, you've got a container of blueberries in the refrigerator waiting to make a video with them, and then every time you walk by the refrigerator, they disappear a handful at a time. So I didn't have as many as I would like to have had to have done it, but it is what it is, I guess. Me too, Chase. I like it the best too. The beets faded out to be just about that color. They didn't stay as red as they were to begin with. The red cabbage, I mean, it gave a, I don't know, bluish, purplish kind of shade to it, but not anything like I thought it would do. I may not have made it strong enough, but the grape juice kind of surprised me. I didn't think it was going to be as dark as it was, but it turned out okay. Medium roast coffee looked pretty good. Dark roast coffee looked pretty good. The onion skins, you can't really tell done anything. But that was just a spur of the moment thing. The old lady was cooking, and I just took the skin off the onion she cut up and brought it down here and boiled it. That's how they made stain for wood way back too, Flossie. Oh yeah, I forgot that some of you guys ain't never seen me before. The last two videos I made natural stains out of, you know, fruit, coffee, that kind of stuff. But definitely check them out, they're pretty cool. Ooh, I bet that was pretty good. I don't drink anymore, but maybe the blueberry apple cider without the heart in it might be okay for me. I never had a whole lot of luck making wine. Of course, I never tried it but a couple of times. That's probably why. But there's no point in making it now because I don't drink anymore. But mulberries, pokeberries, and blackberries is going to be And walnuts are gonna be coming up later this year when they come in. That's exactly right, Kizzy. And I cooked every bit of that down right here on my workbench on a hot plate with a pot. Muscadines, that's grapes, right? I would assume that would have about the same effect as the grape juice. I believe if I would have boiled the grape juice down a little bit more, it would have probably have done a better job, but I got in a little bit of hurry, so. Okay guys, I gotta go get me a drink. I'll be right back. I'll take the chat phone with me so I can see you. Oh damn, it's cold out here. Holy shit, it's cold out there. Damn. Should have put my coat on before I went outside. God. Ooh, pomegranates. Yeah, that cabbage smelled horrible, and I really, really hate cabbage anyway, so. I had a whole head of red cabbage, and I only boiled half of it. And I mean, it darkened the liquid quite a bit. But it just didn't do to the wood what I thought it would. The dark roast coffee I did in the coffee maker. I put a full cup of coffee grounds in with water measured up to the 4-cup mark on the coffee maker pot. No, Kizzy, I'm not locked in my dungeon, I swear. The gnomes ain't got me yet, but I can come and go as I please for now. They at least let me out to go to my real job. I'm not a big fan of shrimp either. But the thing is, I really used to like shrimp, but we went to restaurant called the Harbor House here in town one time when I was a kid. I was maybe 10 or 11. I went with my father and his wife, and I ordered a big plate of shrimp. You know, I mean, it was a pretty good sized plate of shrimp, I won't lie. And when I took a bite of it, it didn't taste right, and I wouldn't eat it. And my stepmom threw the biggest bitch fit in the world until I ate every damn piece of shrimp on that plate. And I thought I was going to die for the next week. I missed a week of school after that. It was terrible. That was by far the worst case of food poisoning I've ever had. Where do you live, Flossie? Like what area? You don't have to give me your address. North Carolina? I figured you were right around here somewhere just because of your name. This area of Appalachia, from East Tennessee to Western North Carolina, in this area is the only time I've ever heard the term Flossie. See, I know what it means. I mean, and that told me, I figured you were from around here somewhere. I'm in Northeast Tennessee in Greene County. The best form of cabbage is right here in a jar where you can't smell it or taste it. I can remember my grandmother, there was a few women in town that were kind of, I don't know, I don't want to use the term fancy, but we'll go with highfalutin. Yeah, that's a good term. And she would always say, Flossie Mae over there, talking about him. Hey, I can actually use my Appalachian terminology and nobody look at me like I'm stupid. I like my cabbage like I like my women, boiled and in a jar. Okay, that was really bad. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ladies. I don't mean you guys. Is that her actual name, Chase, or is that a nickname? But You see, guys, that's not even normally what I say. Normally, say I like my women like I like my coffee, ground up and in the freezer. But I was trying to be kind of nice and easy. I thought the boiled and in a jar was better. I don't know how it was better, but it was. That's her real name. That is cool. I'm pretty sensitive. Yeah, Flossie, that's how I am. I won't eat a meal if there's not some kind of meat involved. There's no point in it. Let's see here. What was I going to show you guys? I was going to do a show and tell now, and I don't remember what it was. So do you guys keep any mistakes around your shop that you've made on projects just so you can look at them every day and remind yourself not to make that mistake again? Because I have one here in my shop that I keep around just so I can see it and remember to pay attention to what I'm doing and not make stupid mistakes. Hell, I don't even know if you guys can still hear me or not. I'm pretty good ways away. This project right here is my mistake that I keep around just to remember the mistake. Can you see what's wrong with it from there? Turn it on around some. There, maybe that'll help. Hell, that made it worse. Well, the cameras just do not like that light. Actually, that might be the phone in my fancy phone stand I made. It's leaning left. Check out my miter joints here, or my bevel joints, excuse me. They've all got a gap in them, that's why it leans. But I keep that around just to remind myself that I'm a dumbass. That's my mountain of shame there. I've never had to eat possum. Luckily, we've got plenty of squirrels, but that's my show and tell for the day. That might work with painting, Olay, but I don't think that works with woodworking. Not exactly, anyway. Or it's not for me yet. I've never had a happy accident woodworking. I've had some ones that made me pretty angry. You guys want to see my fancy setup for my videos? Well, if I can find it all. Here's my fancy setup for my videos. That is where I put my phone when I'm recording videos. That little stand right there holds it up wherever I need it in the shop. If I'm doing a long form video. Now if I'm doing a short or a live like this, I have this board that it sets down in, that groove. That's what it's been in all night. That's my fancy setups for my videos, if anybody was wondering. I'm sure they probably weren't, but now you know. No, I can't say I've done that, Kizzy. Alright, Chase, you have a good night, buddy. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. But Kizzy, I've done stuff equally as bad. And I mean, I know I could take that back apart and then mountain shelf back apart and fix it pretty easy, but you know, I like having it down here to look at so I can think about it when I'm doing something that's beveled or mitered like that. Just to remind me how a 1/16 of an inch off on your miter or your bevel can screw up the whole project. But most of the stuff that I have in my workshop was made either out of pallets or scrap wood from a pallet company. Like my workbench, for example. This right here was actually I don't know if you call it a pallet, it was a shipping frame. That's why it's got that dado cut in it all the way around, because it had a green plastic band around it. But all of that come from pallet, except for this part. This was wood siding off of an old house, this shelf was, but the rest of it, that's where it come from. Let's see, we'll go over here to my next one, which was my really quick put together drying table, which is just some 2x4s off of one of those frames and a 2x12 that come from the scrap wood from the pallet company. And then there's my miter saw stand. That was all pallet wood, same. Top of it was one of those frames that I squared up, and I even used some of the frames for the wood. You can see the grooves there. And my wood stand also. Hey, there you can see one of those. I didn't take the bottom frame apart there. You can still see it. That green band still around it. I never did take it off and square it up. It was already pretty much square and I was in a rush, so. Now the pegboard, I did buy the pegboard itself, but it's framed with pallet runners. And I didn't have a way to drill into this concrete block wall to actually mount it to the wall, so I made little hooks out of the pallet runners right there to stick down in the top of the block to hold it up. And that's how I've got my shop put together. More pallet wood over there in the corner. Another little stand for extra wood that I've got. So you can absolutely do things from pallets. Yes, if you can get free pallets, Wizard, get them. You love what and want it, and a place to put it. The workbench, you mean, or the miter saw stand? Because, I mean, they're both made just about the same. You could go get you 3 or 4 8-foot long 2x4 studs and make one. Now, I had some bigger scrap wood pallet scrap wood boards for the top on this one, so I could do them long ways. But over here on the miter saw, I had to do them front to back because I didn't have boards big, wide enough and long enough to cover the whole thing if I would have went the other way. And if you've watched my videos, the sawhorse and the workbench top that I have here for a mobile work, I made it in one of my videos. It was like my 2nd or 3rd video, I think, maybe my 4th. So, I mean, I show everything from my first video, I think, was a pencil sharpener for your shop. I actually think I may give it to a fiance for her coloring pencils. No, I've still got it. All it is a piece of wood cut into a handle with some sandpaper glued to it. That was my first, I believe that was my first video, was the pencil sharpener. And one of my videos was this toolbox right here. The wood for that toolbox was, I don't know, maybe $10, $12 worth of wood. Not even have been that much. And my stool here was also pallet wood, but it's finally starting to cave in on them. I'm going to put some stretchers along the bottom. Damn it, Flossie. Now, she's heard me say the one about the coffee before, but she's not heard the cabbage one. That was the first time I had ever said that. And I don't even know where it came from. I'm just a terrible person sometimes. But only sometimes. Yeah, it takes an awesome woman to put up with me. That's for sure, Kat. But yeah, Flossie, watch my videos. I mean, the sawhorses and the bench top were part of the same video. I done things in the progression I did to try to give people a way to have a mobile workshop if they had to do things like dragging stuff outside, like you were saying. You know, 2 sawhorses and this top when they're disassembled, don't take up a whole lot of room. And that toolbox can sit in under the sawhorses, and that'll hold, you know, a circular saw, a jigsaw, tape measure, level, square, and a sanding block. I had forgot about the sanding block. Until you get your sanding block built, you can use your pencil sharpener for a sanding block. Whenever your sandpaper wears out, loosen those screws, swap the piece of sandpaper out, and screw it back down. All of that's in my video. I geared that entire series, and I'm still doing it, just for absolute beginners, and I done it on one video. I had to use my table saw to cut a bevel because the screw on my circular saw that tightens up and loosens so you can adjust the bevel on it broke. So I had to use my table saw for about 5 minutes in one of the later videos. But other than that, it's all been circular saw or jigsaw. Oh damn, Ole, you gotta work tomorrow? I hate that for you. You have a good night, buddy. Maybe I'll have a video for you to watch when you get off work. But I've got them all on my channel in a playlist. It's like woodworking for beginner woodworking, no expensive tools, something to that effect. It'll be episode 1 through, I'm wanting to say that last stain was episode number 9. Yeah, bat houses, absolutely. Where'd they go? See, bat houses. You cut grooves on the inside of your back and front like that so that so the bats can climb up it. You drill some holes for air for them. Extend the roof over so it don't get water in it. You really need to, I guess, silicone around the seams or something, just to be on the safe side, so in case your wood moves or something, it don't separate enough for water to get in on them. This one was made so it could be screwed to a wall or something. That's why the top extends up over the roof. And this one, you would use a bracket to mount on a pole. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, these were just my prototypes. I'm just trying to figure it out. I was learning. Could you see it from after I moved it up, Flossie? Okay, good deal. And you have to have a little thing in here you gotta have about 3/4, I think it was 3/4 of an inch to an inch space and no more for bats. Of course, you live in the same area as I do, so that would apply to you also, but shit, there went everything. Okay. That's a good thing to start building now to have for summertime. And then you've got bluebird houses. This was my bluebird house prototype. This was actually a request from a customer. I had to do research on it too. I learned a lot about bluebirds and bats last summer. But the hole has to be 1.5 inches. A bluebird house has to be a little bit deeper than a normal bird house to protect them from predators. Everything I make just about's done with cedar fence pickets because they're cheap, and cedar's pretty nice to work with and smells really good. The roof has to extend out over the hole. Bluebirds don't need a perch to sit on. The 1.5 inch hole is to keep bigger birds from getting in there, like swallows and stuff like that, and getting to the bluebirds. And then you can take this little dowel out right here and flip the side open to clean out the nest after the year's done, so it'll be ready to use again next year. Put you about 3 drain holes in the bottom. Extend the back above and below the house so they can screw it to a tree or a fence or whatever they're going to hang it on. And I priced the bluebird houses at $15. The lady that wanted them, she wanted, a whole bunch of them, like 10 or 20 or 50 or something like that. And I priced them to her for $10 a piece, since I could batch them out really quick and easy. And she ordered in bulk, so. I know, Kizzy, don't be getting sick on us. No, I watched a lot of videos on that, Josh, and as soon as I seen them stapling that mesh in there, I thought, now a bat's going to get tangled up in that, and them staples are going to give, and they're going to fall out, and they're going to die or be killed. So what's the point in using that when you can spend an extra 15 minutes on the table saw or whatever you've got to cut grooves with and cut the grooves? It's not hard. What seems a little low? I probably could have asked for more for them, but, Of course, this was last summer. When I started making them last year, I wasn't as sure of myself as I am now. I'll probably price them for $20 this year. But I mean, they're not sanded down or anything. They're just completely rough fence pickets, so. Local bookstore. We have a Christian bookstore here in town. I might could talk into it and me sell something. There ain't a whole lot of shops around here to sell stuff at. Yeah, now if it was my ex-wife, I'm definitely okay with the jar scenario on that one, Flossie. But I mean, that was partly my fault because there were red flags everywhere, and I just, for some reason, everything that I would have told every one of my friends to stay away from, I completely missed somehow. That's a story for another day. I think I've told Kat some of it, but yeah. I've not even priced a back house yet. I'm not real sure what to charge for them. I mean, Lowe's has some. I think it was Lowe's. Or was that the Bluebird houses that Lowe's had for $15? That's where I got my price at for those last year. I was looking at some at Lowe's and they were $15 or $17, so I priced mine at $15. I've got a few friends, not very many, but the friends that I do have been with me for a very, very, very long time. Like I have one friend, she's been my friend since kindergarten. My other two friends, they've been my friends since 5th grade. You know, we've had spats and stuff and not talked for a while, and we've always found each other again and been friends again. But as far as real friends go, they're few and far between. Now, my ex-wife's brother-in-law, he's my friend. Yeah, I've got something I plan on making tomorrow. I might make 2 videos tomorrow. How long have we been running here? An hour and 15 minutes? I enjoy the hell out of doing this. I used to kind of wonder why Daniel liked going live so much, but I understand it now. I get it. I love getting on here and talking to you guys. Yes, Paul, you guys are my friends. Yeah, I've got a lot of junk too that I need to get rid of. Well, then the friends that I have, I guess technically they are family, I suppose. I do consider them as such. But I'm 45 years old, started kindergarten in the 5th grade, so Tracy's been my friend for 40 years now. So yeah, she's more like a sister than a friend. That's right, Kat. That's exactly right. But are you busy tomorrow, Kat? I can't remember if I asked you or not. Yeah, Kizzy, I had another friend that I had been friends with since I was 10, but she's now my fiance, so. Okay, I may have you get on here with me sometime tomorrow and see if we can figure out why it wouldn't let me go live with that microphone plugged into my phone. That way I'll have somebody I know that is around to watch and see what's going on. Because I know during the day it's hard to find people to be around for something like that that's not scheduled, so. If you can, I mean, if you can't, that's fine, I understand. I don't want to put no stress on you or nothing, but just if you can. Appreciate it. And there's still 8 people in here. I've kept 8 people entertained for this long. I can't believe it. I have no idea yet, Kat. Sometime between 9 o'clock in the morning and 9 o'clock at night. Oh, hey, it jumped up since I looked last. Well, I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm just going off of my phone's mobile network. I don't have Wi-Fi at the moment. But when I had that mic plugged in, I tried going live 6 or 7 times and it said it couldn't connect. And as soon as I unplugged it, we were off to the races. So, yes, Flossie, it has been very awesome. I've enjoyed the hell out of it. We got 19 likes. Need one more to hit 20 likes. Come on, guys. If you've not hit that like button, hit it. Let's hit 20 likes. Come on. I understand how that is, Kat. I really do. See, Josh, that's just crazy. Sorry, guys. I gotta see how much battery I got left on my phone. Okay, I still got some battery left. The other night when I was on here for like 2 or 3 hours, when I ended the live, my phone was at 1%, so. Hey, Stephen James, how are you? Thanks for coming over and seeing us and saying hi. I appreciate you. Now that's just crazy. 5 miles away and you're not getting no sick. I don't understand that. I mean, you've got line of sight to the tower, so that's just weird. Oh, well, thank you. How do you like them? See, I feel like that goes against what 5G should be. Seems to me like as the generations go up, you should get more mileage from the tower without having to be on Wi-Fi. In my opinion, anyway. 3 miles. Because the whole point when they first started talking about the world going 5G was the whole point in it was so that there wouldn't be any dead spots, and I don't know, I don't understand it myself, but oh my Lord, Josh, that's a long ass way. I'm lucky in that regard. I've got a gas station about 3/4 of a mile or a mile away, and I've got $2 Generals. One's 2.5 miles away, and the other one's 1.5 miles away. It just seems like they're going backwards. I mean, I understand they're probably doing that so they can increase the speed, but it looks like that they would give you a choice if you want distance or speed. Hey, I can do that too. I've got one neighbor that I shouldn't have. The next closest house is empty. The old couple that lived there died years ago, and it was bought up by the people that are trying to own every section of this county. And my grandparents sold a good chunk of our land and our barn and our field to them. Sold the house that the neighbor lives in. It was built for my mom when she was pregnant with me, and it got sold to somebody from up north. So I've got a neighbor now that I don't much care for. Well, I don't know, she's just strange, I guess. But it's always drama one way or the other. I'm always the talk of the town, Kizzy. That's just how it is with me, but always being the talk of the town's not always a good thing. Was it one of you guys that had said something the other day about getting stain at Ollie's? Yeah, Flossie, we're getting people from up north, we're getting people from California. The ones from California I'm calling refugees because I get why they're leaving there in droves, I do, but they're just coming here, driving prices up, and then they're going to turn this into California, and then it's going to be a problem. I mean, rent has more than doubled in the last 10 years. Hell, in the last 6 or 7 years. And it's only going to get worse and worse. I would love to move over to Asheville because that's where my doctor is, but there ain't no way I can afford to live there, at least not right this moment anyways. Yep, you gone, Paul? You have a good night, buddy. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow sometime. Now, Steve, that sounds like a damn nice place to live. I live in Greene County, Tennessee. The major town in Greene County is Greenville. There's a couple of other little townships like Chuckey, Limestone, Milesime, Midway, Bulls Gap. But honestly, county population, the last time I looked, was like 76,000. The city of Greenville's population was like 14 or 15,000. But again, this was back in 2020 when I checked that population. It's probably shot way up since then. I got that if nobody else did, Kizzy. We've got our fair share of that too. Yeah, there's quite a few little bars here in Greene County for sure. The only real restaurant we had other than, like I don't want to say fancy restaurant, but nicer restaurant, we had a Fats and an Applebee's, and Fats went out of business. And we just back in November got a Texas Roadhouse and a Panda Express. So we're moving up in the world, I guess. Hey, you're fine, Cat. If you're wanting to clean, you can come down here. I got plenty of work for you. Okay, we got 20 likes. Woohoo! You know what? We got 20 likes, so I'll do it. I'll do the robot for you there since we got 20 likes. I don't know that I really have a favorite project to build. Not yet, anyway. I've enjoyed building just about everything that I've built, though. I will say that. Good God, that's a big county. We used to have, let's see, our field was an acre. We had about 8 acres to begin with. And then when my grandparents sold the woods in the field and the barn, that took up most of it. And then when they sold the house, that left us less than an acre, I think, or maybe right at an acre. Orange County, California. That fire's not gonna make it to you all this at Red Prog. I'll get your name right one of these days, damn it. Alright, Stephen, yeah, I know what you mean. Moving sucks. I've done more than my share of it, and I hope I don't ever have to do it again. That used to be my goal in life, was to have enough money to be able to afford to pay somebody to move me, but I'm not moving ever again. I'm back in my family home now. I'm working on getting it bought from my mother and my uncle, so we'll leave it at that. But now that those fires have happened, there's going to be a lot more people move here, I believe, to this area of the country. I fear it's going to make prices double again. Whoa. What the hell? Did the live just pop up ad for you guys or something? That was weird. I had never seen that before. Yeah, Flossie, it really is. But I do believe that because it's somewhere where there's people with a little bit more money, there's more attention being paid to it than would be paid anywhere else, at least anywhere around here anyway. I mean, look what we just went through with Hurricane Helene. Where I live, I cannot get to town without crossing a bridge, and we lost 2 bridges into Greenville, 2 bridges into Johnson City, and the rest of them were closed for a week or so. They got 2 bridges opened back up. They got 1 lane of another one opened back up, and the rest of them, I don't know when they're going to get open. When I was a kid, I always used to wonder what would happen if it ever came a big enough flood to take out the bridges, and I finally got my answer, I guess. Well, you see, wasn't it just like 6 months or a year ago they were talking about wanting to turn Los Angeles into a smart city or something like that? So I do kind of wonder if somebody might have done that on purpose to redo the city the way they want it. Well, Kizzy, I ain't never got a straight story, at least for why we got it. I mean, I'm up in the mountains of Tennessee, so there's no reason that we should have really got that. But when North Carolina got it, I was told that they opened the dam, and I was told that the dam broke. I don't know which is true, or if either is true, or what, but that's what caused the flood here, because the river that runs through this town, that's where it comes from, is North Carolina. But my doctor and pharmacy is in Asheville, North Carolina, and they got it really, really bad. My pharmacist, he lives and breathes that pharmacy. Getting him to take a day off is damn near impossible. But when he did have to have days off, he had another pharmacist that would come in and run the pharmacy for him on that day. Well, when the flooding started up there, his wife and kids were somewhere else, and he had been texting them saying that their apartment was flooding. He was upstairs with the neighbor, and they didn't have any cell service at that time, so his wife didn't get these messages till days later. But when the rescuers came to the apartment to get him out, the apartment had already been flipped over on its side, and there was nobody in the building, and they found him 3 days later, right at nightfall, miles down the river from where it happened at. And the rescuer that found him stayed there with him all night so that his body wouldn't be alone until morning when they could get him out. Right, we start talking about politics, and you can tell everybody left. We got lucky here in our county. We had 1 person die from the flood. And that was because he was out in a boat. He was out with his wife and their dog, and they hit one of the bridges. The wife and the dog survived, but he didn't, and they didn't find him till days later, and he was way further down the river, across the dam and everything from where it happened at, and that really surprises me. But I mean, really though, there is so much natural disasters and stuff going on right now that just don't make any sense to me at all. Like I never in my life, I mean, we've got rain off of hurricanes before, like off of Hurricane Hugo all the way back in them days when I was in school. We got a little bit of nasty weather off of it, but we've never had anything like we had from Helene. I never thought that I would ever even say that our town was shut down because of a hurricane, not us this high up in the mountains. That was one reason I like being up in the mountains. You're exactly right, Josh. I mean, you're exactly right. It affects everything. It affects everything from the cost of wood, the cost of rent, the cost of tools, to everything. It's crazy. Well, Kizzy, they've been saying there's going to be a polar shift like that for, I don't know, 10 years now. And the poles are moving some because they had to repaint the airport runways there, I don't know, 6-7 years ago or so. But do I think there's going to be an actual complete polar shift? No, I don't see that happening. I believe the earth would break in half if that happened. That's just my opinion. That's not based on any science or anything. That's just how it works in my head. Oh, the sun's poles. I'm sorry, I misread that. But I don't know, as much as we're dependent upon electronics now, one big solar storm, I mean, it could halt the country for a while. It'd have to be a damn big one, but still. Yeah, that, when the floods happen, you know, we get our water, the county's water source was the river, and the river flooded up into the intake house and ruined all the pumps, so we went without water for a couple of weeks while they were getting pumps. And everybody was freaking out, and I mean, I've got well water, but my well pump is currently broke down, so I have rainwater collection to cover me until I can get it fixed. I already had that in place, which even if I hadn't, I could have still fixed it. That didn't give us drinking water, but that gave us water for everything else. As far as drinking water goes, you can get you a piece of painter's plastic like this stuff right here. Tie you up, cut you down 4 little saplings or big limbs or something and stick them down in the ground and tie a corner to each pole and put you a little something in it to weight it down and poke a tiny hole in it and put you a jug under it or a bucket or whatever and catch you some rainwater to drink. And I did do that just to prove that I could. Yep, guys, that's exactly right. Be a good neighbor and help them out. That's exactly right. I got up for something. Anybody got any idea what it was? I know I got up for something. Oh yeah, I got a question. When the hell did it start costing money to open an Etsy shop? Yeah, I've got more jars. They're empty though. I have 3 left in the box here. Watch out, ladies. I'm coming to get you. I don't think I'll drink the beet juice. I would probably still drink the coffee since it's been in a jar. I don't see any mold in it, so. Oh, I thought you said I was doing the pee-pee dance there for a minute. I'm like, no, I'm just fidgety tonight. Yes, Cat, we've learned that lesson the hard way. I'd say all of us have. That's right. That's where I am. Nah. Yeah, Cat, one day last year, I was cooking supper. It was a Sunday night. And I remember that because I had to work the next day. But I had some chicken in an aluminum pan in the oven our oven has a bottom and a top. The top's up above my head, or right at my head level, I should say. And I had the chicken in the top oven. And I pulled that aluminum pan out and I started carrying it towards the bedroom and it folded up on me and all that hot chicken grease went down on my foot. That didn't feel good. I had to go to work the next night, put my work socks and work boots on and go to work with that big old blister all over my foot. God, it was horrible. So normally when I use a aluminum pan like that, I'll put a cookie sheet or something under it just so that won't happen. But for whatever reason, I didn't that night. I can't remember what the reason even was now, but never again will I ever do that. No. I'm gonna call them and tell them right now, Cat. Boy, it's crazy how much delay there is in this. Hey, we got 10 people back in here again. I've been sick for a week now. And it's the weirdest thing. I'll feel better for a little bit and then I'll start feeling bad again. My voice will start coming and going. And it's bad when I don't have a voice because I like to talk to people. Well, I like to talk to myself. I can't say necessarily that I like to talk to people. I like to talk. We'll leave it at that. Well, from what I'm seeing from the live on this phone, there's a, let's see here. About a 6-second delay. I don't think I'm flagged or anything, no. I'm still on. Yeah, that's weird. I stripped down and run down the road naked, Flossie. That's what you missed. See, why didn't I think of the dining room table instead of what I thought of? I'm terrible. I tell you what I was going to do one day. For one of my shorts, I was going to come down here in my apron and have my apron on, but just have boxers on and under it. But I happened to catch somebody else's video that done that the other day, so now that's not going to be a shocking experience, so I can't do it now. And I mean, I had planned on that for a few weeks, and then I happened to come out here scrolling one day and I ran up on somebody's video that was doing it. I'm like, are you serious? I don't know what gets me more, is that I thought about doing it or that somebody else thinks enough like me to have already done it. I had it all planned out. I was going to come down here, apron on, boxers on, cup of coffee in one hand, energy drink in the other. I feel like I forgot something, but I don't know what it was. I'm not woke up yet. And that's how that video was going to go, and damn, somebody already done it. I figured you guys would get a kick out of that. Yeah, but what happens when you try and you can't do something? That's the problem. I'm too old to learn anything. What are you talking about? That's not entirely true. I guess I am learning something new every day down here, but yeah, I definitely need some lye, for sure. Because I'm wanting to make soap, not because I'm wanting to dissolve bodies. I'm in the mountains, there's better ways to get rid of bodies than lye. Yes, Kizzy, that's true also. I mean, that first video I made, you talk about being nervous, let me tell you, I was terrified making that first video. And I mean, it's not even like it's the first YouTube video I ever made, because I had made 5 or 6 DoorDash videos before I started doing the woodworking stuff, but you know, that was a few years ago now, and when I made that first woodworking video back in September, I was absolutely terrified. Well, Kat, I'll leave this live as private that way. They can't mark it as misinformation. I probably need to leave them private anyway. I get pretty bad sometimes. I don't want to get marked as age restricted. Yeah, Flossie, I've gotten a lot more comfortable. You see, Kizzy, when I was younger, I was like that to a point, but something happened after I got married and had kids. I don't know. Maybe it was the abuse and all the arguing and craziness that went on, but I got to the mindset of if I didn't try, I couldn't fail. But when I was younger, Flossie, that was my job. I was the guinea pig. If we were going to save, all right, are we good now, guys? Oh, damn, I lost everybody. Can you guys hear me all right and everything? Okay, how about now? Because it's picking up on here, so I don't know what you guys are seeing, but what the hell? Okay, good deal, Frog. And I actually knew what that. That's pretty cool too. Yeah, that happens sometimes. You might have to go out and back in, Flossie. I don't know what's going on because it seems to be working everywhere else now. I may have glitched your matrix or something. That sounded so wrong on so many levels. I apologize. Okay, John, watch what you say. Watch what you say. Talk to the hand. There we go. See, I knew I could salvage that. My little phone stand there a while ago for my wives with that little groove cut in it. There's not a hole for a charger to fit through, so I've got my phone setting. It's held on by about a half an inch of the phone in that groove, and the rest of it's sticking out so I can charge it. I didn't realize my phone would go dead that quick. Of course, I'm starting to see another issue. Now this phone's going to go dead. I'm not going to be able to see the chat. Oh, do you mean this? Talking about on my fingers? Okay, Red Frog, you have a good night. Now that's where I roll my own cigarettes, Josh. Leaves nice brown stains on my fingers. I've been doing it long enough that it's permanent. Alcohol won't take it off. Peroxide won't take it off. Even it off, and I'm not quite brave enough to use the belt sander yet. Oh shit. Give me just 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Oh, we're got here in the cold again. coming, guys. I'm coming. Don't run off yet. Oh, Lord. It's right there. Oh, crap. All right. Let's see here. Well, shit. Yep. What? Well, shit. Yes, I'm still alive. Do I know what? Okay, where'd it go? Well, I'm not running back upstairs, but. Ah, there it is. Oh, no, damn it. That one up. Well, shit. Hey, Robert. Yeah, it feels good out there right now, let me tell you. I don't even know what the temperature is right now. I know it's in the 20s. It's 22 degrees right now here. I can't believe we got 20 likes. That tickles me to death. I can't believe I let my phone die like that. Yeah, it's still charging iron. I'll hang out with you until the chat phone dies. It's at 6%, so. I'll fix my setup tomorrow to where that won't happen anymore. I should have already had it fixed, but you know how it is. I get lazy sometimes. Yeah, we're under a winter weather warning and all kinds of crap here too. I think they said it was supposed to get down to single digits tonight or tomorrow night 1. I'm glad I don't have to work tomorrow night because that would suck. Yeah, I had to go get some more jars, Cat. I've got to go to the laundromat tomorrow. Damn it. Well, I did bring enough water in to wash my clothes by hand if I have to, but I had to run to Johnson City a while ago, and Jonesboro was already laying on the roads, so I suspect it's probably going to pick back up here and it'll be on the roads by tomorrow. Now, Flossie, I brought a couple of buckets of water in just in case everything froze up. But it ain't hard to wash by hand in a 5-gallon bucket, really. With my work clothes, they kind of have to be washed because they get pretty oily. I mean, I can wash an outfit quicker in a bucket than I can in a washing machine. It just really sucks if you're doing it outside with ice water. So guys, I want somebody to make this make sense to me. I work in the weld department at, well, I won't name the place, but we'll call it a lawnmower factory. And a lot of the welding's done by CNC robots. And the frame robot is at the very head of the assembly line. So I had to run that for 2 rotations at the end of the night last night. And the line was a little bit behind on their numbers, so they turned their cycle time up to 32 seconds per cycle. And it takes 56 seconds for one of the frames to weld. So, how did they think that was going to work out? Because let me tell you, that about killed me. That first rotation I ran it last night wasn't too bad because I had a trainee that I could make do some of it, but that last rotation was me and another guy. He's another new guy. He's not quite got his speed up yet completely, but Lord have mercy, I run my butt off. As they got behind, they were like 8 lawnmowers behind where they should have been, so they decided to crank the line up to where it would run faster than we could make the frames. And, you know, we're allowed to have 16 extra frames built at any given time, which we did have to use half of them. But even our team coordinators come over there fussing and saying, we addressed this situation, don't know if it'll get fixed, but we addressed it. And I said, what situation? And they explained what the line was running on. I'm like, oh. No, they're pretty well made and they're pretty expensive mowers. Ain't nothing I can afford anytime soon, but If you go back and watch any of my videos that have Bobby in it, you'll see where I worked at. It'll show if you know what to pay attention to. Well, we just load the robot and it goes in the robot and welds. It takes 56 seconds for the robot to complete welding the frame. Yes, Kat, that is correct. I got to be a little bit careful because if, for example, one of them was to be in here and hear me say something bad, and then I would get fired, so. If you work there, you're not allowed to talk bad about that brand or wear a competitor's shirt to work or anything like that. Yeah, they're the same color as grass. That's the really, really light grass. See, Kat's got my back. She knows. That's why I wasn't really able to do nothing yesterday, Kat. I was just dead. I mean, I was completely dead. I done the couple of chores that I absolutely had to do yesterday that I couldn't get out of doing, and that was it. I sat on my butt the rest of the day. I was exhausted. But I mean, they run like they're supposed to all night up until the last 3 hours, and then they want to run balls to the wall like they're trying to do 800 mowers in 3 hours, and that's crazy. There's no point in running that hard. If it would have just been an 8-hour shift, it would have been all right, but that extra hour made it rough too. Hell, we're on 9-hour shifts now until at least through March, is as far as I've seen the schedule. And it's looking like in February and March they have every other Saturday scheduled. But that may or may not happen. They used to schedule Saturdays all the time and then not work them, so it's hard to tell. Well, I worked on the assembly line for a while when I worked there before until I couldn't put up with the team leader over the line anymore because of the way he was treating me, and I finally quit. See, they worked me in the weld department for 9 months and then hired me on full time from the temp agency and forced me to the assembly line. And then everything went to hell from there. I worked. You get 2 weeks of training and then you're on your own. During that 2 weeks of training, I never got to do not one of the jobs in my area by myself. And then on that first day I was supposed to be by myself, I wasn't fast enough and they had a bad night and they decided it was all my fault, which I know better than that. But they went as far as to write me up for being too slow. Asked me what I had to say for myself, and I said, I have some trouble with my fine motor skills. I have carpal tunnel. I have trouble handling small stuff. So they moved me to the other end of the line where they have little bitty teeny tiny grease fittings and E-clips and stuff like that that I definitely couldn't handle. And then another 2 weeks they moved me again saying I was too slow, which was bullshit. And then finally just got to the point that I was so stressed out I couldn't take it no more. And fiance seen how I was acting on the way to work, and she said, "No, you're not putting up with this no more. Let's go." And she turned around. We was almost at work. We wasn't a mile from work when she turned around and brought me back to the house. What got me was, why would they train me somewhere for 9 months? I mean, I was working on getting my weld certification, and they stopped, when they hired me in, they stopped the supervisors from giving any more certification tests out, so I couldn't get certified. And then forced me to go to the assembly line when they hired me, and maybe that makes sense to me. And now they don't have enough certified welders, and even if they were to offer, I don't think I would do it now. This is the only factory I've ever worked in where the temporary agency workers have a little bit more control over where they work than the full-time employees. It makes no sense. Amen to that. Holy shit, it's 1 o'clock, guys. I didn't think it was but like 11. When did it get to be 1? Well, damn, they still AW's in here. I hate leaving that many people in here. And I mean, you know, I don't like to have people that are clamoring to work in the weld department, because the weld department does all the heavy lifting, like the deck. We have to lift the deck skins up, load them in the robot and everything that welds to the deck skins. And we have to pull them off and put them on the line for them to be repaired. I mean, and the frames, that's a pain in the ass altogether. But it's not like it's a job that people are absolutely clamoring to do, so I never did quite wrap my head around it. Alright guys, that phone's at 3%, so I guess I'd better head out of here. I hate that there's still that many people in here though. But if I can't see the chat, I can't talk to you no way, so. It's 1 o'clock here, you must be Central Time, Kizzy. Alright guys, I'm gonna head out of here. I don't have no nice jewelry boxes or nothing to show you, so I'm just gonna tell you I love you and head out. Love y'all, mean it. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I will see you guys sometime tomorrow. Greene County, Tennessee, Robert. You know how the Beverly Hillbillies used to say down around Limestone Ways where Davy Crockett was born? Well, I live 6 miles from Davy Crockett's birthplace. So I do suspect that my hometown is where they modeled where the Beverly Hillbillies were from. Well, thank you, Flossie. I appreciate that. There's definitely going to be at least a birdhouse build here pretty soon for you guys. Since spring's coming up, which is the time to start selling them, I'm going to do a video of it. I'll show you my setup for trying to batch them out a little bit quicker and try to help you as much as I can. Alright guys, I will have a video out for you tomorrow, and I will try to go live sometime tomorrow. Hopefully I can get the microphone thing figured out too. Alright guys, love y'all, mean it.